About it, Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics, what's going on in the news and around the world. We're going to talk Donald Trump, his feelings in regards to the halftime show. Did you watch the halftime show and did you like it? Press 1 if you like the halftime show. Press 2 if you did not like the halftime show. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the halftime show. And let me also know if you watched the game. Press 3 if you watched the game. So allow me a few seconds to get into my. Then we're going to talk about what Donald Trump's feelings were regarding the game. Thanks for being here, everyone. Like and share as you guys come in. Like and subscribe as well. Okay, so, oh, hold on one second. Oh, comments are allegedly, period. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is used permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. While I do the rest of this, I'll play this so you can hear what he had to say briefly or his thoughts.
Here's what President Donald Trump had to say about Bad Bunny's halftime show. He called the show, quote, absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. Bad Bunny's performance featured stars including Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. He also delivered a unifying message, expanding the meaning of God Bless America to include all nations of the Americas, from Chile to Canada. Trump said it was a slap in the face and, quote, nobody understands a word the Puerto Rican rapper was saying. Trump's criticism comes just a week after Bad Bunny's historic win at the Grammys, where his album became the first Spanish-language record to take home Album of the Year. Here's what President Donald Trump had to say about Bad Bunny's halftime show. He called the show, quote, absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. Bad Bunny's performance featured stars including Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. He also delivered a unifying message, expanding the meaning of God Bless America to include all nations of the Americas, from Chile to Canada. Trump said it was a slap in the face and, quote, nobody understands a word the Puerto Rican rapper was saying. Trump's criticism comes just a week after Bad Bunny's historic win at the Grammys, where his album became the first Spanish-language record to take home Album of the Year. Here's what President Donald Trump...
Let's continue. Fair use. Like the video as you guys come in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. Thanks for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's continue.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom Yamas from Nightly News. It has become an annual American tradition. For Super Bowl Sunday, the President of the United States sits down for a wide-ranging interview ahead of the big game. This week, I spoke with President Trump inside the Oval Office. We discussed everything from his immigration crackdown to possible military action in Iran. The whole interview is now available at NBCnews.com. We should note the conversation took place on Wednesday before the president's social media account reposted that racist video of the Obamas, which was ultimately taken down. But I did talk to President Trump about the cost of living in America and, of course, tonight's big game. Mr. President, we thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
As you know, Americans are getting ready for the Super Bowl, for this great big game, and you have two teams, Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. Who do you think is going to win?
Well, I've watched them both during the season, and New England's amazing because they have a second coming. It's pretty good. Quarterbacks, both good. Seattle's an amazing comeback quarterback, and the other one's just an amazing quarterback. I think it's going to be a great game. You know, I like both areas of our country very much. I better not make any predictions. You get yourself in big trouble. But I think it's going to be a really great game. Seattle's had an amazing season.
Yeah.
And
Strong defense.
New England has a great tradition of winning. And Bob Kraft's done a fantastic job. You know, the whole thing is really, it's going to be very exciting. The quarterback situation is interesting.
They're great. They're both great.
Both great.
That leads me to my next question. You have a really good relationship with the Patriots, including the former head coach, Bill Belichick. What did you think when he was snubbed on the first ballot of the Hall of Fame?
I thought it was terrible. I mean, he's won so much, won so many Super Bowls, great coach. Became a little bit controversial, I guess, after that. This little period after that, during it, he was a great coach. I thought it was very inappropriate.
You think he deserves it, the Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah. It's like, what have you done for me lately? Well, you know, you have a great career, and he has had a little bit of a controversial year and a half, 2 years, maybe. But what difference does that make? No, he should be in there right at the top.
What are your plans for the Super Bowl? We know you're not going to go over there. You're going to watch here, and who are you inviting?
I'll be sitting in probably Palm Beach, depending on what happens. You know, in my position in this job of mine, sometimes you have to move around quickly, very quickly. But we'll be most likely at Mar-a-Lago, one of my clubs, watching with a lot of people, a lot of friends, or I may very well be in the White House.
Friends and families just like you will be coming together on Super Bowl Sunday. People are shopping this week. Yeah. They're running the kids around. They're trying to heat their homes with this brutal winter we've been having. In the last year, a lot of prices have come down, things like gas and eggs, but others since you took office have come up, like natural gas and coffee. When can Americans expect those prices to come down?
Well, they've already come down. I think you've seen, Tom, when I took over, eggs, poultry, all these things were through the roof. In fact, the first question I got, what are you going to do about eggs? It was my second day in office at a news conference, and they were screaming, what are you going to do about eggs? Eggs had gone up like 4 times. If you notice, over the last few days, it's only a few days, but the Democrats have gone to another subject. I think they're probably saying dictator or something. They've got a new word. They don't use the word affordability anymore because prices are way down. Gasoline is, I just left Iowa, $1.99 and even $1.85 a gallon, $1.85 a gallon. That's in Iowa. Many states are cracking $2. Gasoline is way down. And honestly, everything is coming way down. Beef is coming down.
Yeah, but beef, coffee, natural
No,
gas,
they're
it's all
coming
you
down.
bring that up.
Coffee's
will
coming
come down.
Well, it's already come down. I'll tell you what, in the last 4 days, it's only 4 days, the Democrats have not uttered the word affordability. They're the ones that caused the problem. I took over a mess in every way. The border was a mess. That everybody admits. The border is great. Crime was a mess right now. 125 years. It's the lowest crime that we've had since 1900. So we're doing a job. But the one thing that they don't say anymore is affordability because I fixed the problem that they created.
Let's stay on the economy. You just mentioned it. You said you inherited a mess from President Biden when it comes to the economy. But at what point is it on you? At what point are we in the Trump economy?
Oh, I'd say we're there now. I'm very proud of it, 5.6%. You know, we have a GDP of 5.6 despite a shutdown. We had a 42-day shutdown. I call it the Democrat shutdown. And because of that, I lost 1.5 points. I would have been in a 7 GDP, which hasn't been seen, I don't know, ever maybe ever.
Yeah.
And I think 26 is even going to be better. You know, we have hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our country. Actually, trillions. $18 trillion is being invested in our country as we speak. And there are factories and plants and thousands of businesses being built all over the country. Nobody has ever seen it. I just spoke to President Xi of China. Nobody has ever seen anything like what's happening right now in America.
When will we see those jobs and those factories open? Because manufacturing has been down.
Well, you're already seeing it in construction because they're all building. You know, we have factories being built, car plants are coming in from Canada, coming in from Mexico. They're leaving Germany, Japan. They're all coming into the United States. And you're seeing it in your construction numbers. And, you know, the plant, we have to build them. And the plants are under construction.
In your term, you think those plants
will
open in your term?
They'll be opening up over a year and a half,
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. There's about 86 people in the building. Please continue to hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe. Thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Please hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 50K by next month. Hold on 1 second. No, that's still the commercial. Hold on.
You've had successes on immigration, some big ones. Illegal border crossings are at historic lows, but the entire country watched those videos of 2 Americans being killed in Minneapolis. You've gotten calls from your own supporters to make changes, and now you're pulling out some officers from Minneapolis. Are there more changes coming?
Well, the reason we're pulling out because we've done a great job there. You know, we have crime down there, despite tremendous blowback from a governor that's incompetent and from a mayor who's just, I don't know what the hell, where he comes from, but the crime numbers in Minnesota and Minneapolis in particular are down.
So let me ask, did you watch the game? Press 1, and did you enjoy it? Press 2 if you watched the halftime show and enjoyed it. Or press 3 that you didn't watch the game and you didn't watch the halftime show. Let me know in the comments. Press 3 if you did not enjoy the halftime show, nor did you watch the game.
25-30%, because we've removed thousands of criminals from the area. These are hardened criminals that came in, most of them came in through an open border, and we've done a great job. But look at Washington, D.C. It's like a safe city. You can walk to the White House. You didn't have to take an armored vehicle. You could walk Washington safe. Look at what happened in Louisiana. I got a call from the governor. Please do something with New Orleans. We went there 4 weeks ago. Crime is down 71%. Memphis, Tennessee, crime is down 80% after 5 weeks. And here's a big thing. Crime historically in this country, it's down at the lowest level it's ever been. And a bad word, murder. We've had less murders than we have had in decades.
Yeah. One more question on the Super Bowl.
And you know why? Because we're tough on crime.
The Super Bowl is this sort of rare time in America, right, where we're all united. It's a common experience. There's still divisions in this country, right? Democrats will say it's all because of you, and then Republicans will say Democrats don't want to work with President Trump. They blame President Trump for everything. What's one thing you can do, really, to help Americans find common ground?
Well, you know, we're working on the Save America Act, which is going to secure up a lot of things, but secure up our voting. I think people would like to do it, and I think Democrats would too. You know, when you go to voter ID and you ask Democrats, it's polling at 82% with Democrats. I'm not talking about Democrat politicians. I'm talking about Democrats. We have to do something about our voting. We need strong borders. We need a fair press, which we don't have. And very importantly, we need a strong border, the fair press, and we need fair elections. We need elections where people aren't able to cheat. And we're going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get it done. And by the way, it polls, even with Democrats, they want that.
We should note voter ID rules do have wide public support, but the vast majority of Democrats on Capitol Hill oppose them, arguing that such rules would make voting more difficult for millions of Americans. Once again, our full interview is available right now at NBCnews.com. I'm Tom Yamas. I'll see you tomorrow night on NBC Nightly News, live from the Winter Olympics. But for now, we'll take a quick break.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Like I mentioned, let me know in the comments, did you watch the halftime show? Did you enjoy the halftime show? Let me know in the comments. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope all is well. I hope all is well.
About Bad Bunny's halftime show. Trump had to say about Bad Bunny's halftime show. He called the show, quote, absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. Bad Bunny's performance featured stars including Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. He also delivered a fine message, expanding the meaning of God Bless America to include all nations of the Americas, from Chile to Canada. Trump said it was a slap in the face and, quote, nobody understands a word the Puerto Rican rapper was saying. Trump's criticism comes just a week after Bad Bunny's historic win at the Grammys, where his album became the first Spanish-language record to take home Album of the Year. Here's what President Donald...
Let's continue with the news. Fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in, and thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before and where you're watching from. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
All right, the Super Bowl packed in football, entertainment, and wild commercials. Many commentators say now more than ever the halftime reflects the growing animosity in American politics and the entertainment world that often serves as a mouthpiece for it. President Donald Trump criticizing Bad Bunny's headliner performance, mostly sung in Spanish, featuring nods to his home, U.S. territory, Puerto Rico. The late Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA also put on what they called an alternative all-American halftime show featuring Kid Rock. Let me now bring in Steve Krakauer for his take on what we saw last night. Steve, always good to have you. You know, first of all, I think we learned the ratings for Bad Bunny's performance sometime today. Turning Point USA had 6.1 million viewers at one point. What were your top line thoughts of what we saw and what we were offered last night as viewers?
That's where we're at. That's where we're at in culture in this second Trump era. Not necessarily totally surprising. I will say, there's been a lot of commentary about Bad Bunny as the chosen halftime performer. That, as you mentioned, he entirely all of his songs are in Spanish. He did say at one point, "God bless America," but then continued on, which we can talk about. It's not necessarily a criticism of him and why the Turning Point did this alternative halftime show because of that. It's because of his criticism of America, of ICE and of Donald Trump, and so that's sort of what started this ball rolling. Yes, he did say "God bless America," good message, and love is stronger than hate, understand. But then he starts going into, what actually is America, and he goes into list Venezuela and Mexico and Canada. Canada's America now too, so it's sort of a different reframing of America. But as you mentioned, we saw the Turning Point halftime show as well. That one, a massive number for streaming. I mean, this is 6-7 million.
Yeah, for YouTube.
Yeah, so it's a huge number there, and we'll see what kind of dip we see with the Bad Bunny halftime show. Lots of rumblings that it's going to happen. Look, I think that for anyone who watched it, the normal halftime show, I think you saw a great performance. Just for the people that are not Spanish speakers could not understand what he was saying.
And by the numbers, Bad Bunny is a global superstar. I mean, the most streamed artist on Spotify in 2025, more than 20 billion streams. Spanish is the second most common language here in the States, but spoken by roughly half of all bilingual Americans. On top of that, though, Steve, we were thinking several halftime show performers in the past have been non-citizens. You've got Rihanna, Shakira, the Rolling Stones, Shania Twain, just to name a few. Why is he such a controversial pick? Is it just the moment that we're in right now?
Yeah, absolutely right. It doesn't necessarily, and in Shakira, as you mentioned, saying in Spanish, the criticism is not necessarily Spanish. Although I will say, I think it's a little bit odd that 95%, I think everything pretty much besides "God Bless America" and Lady Gaga's performance was in Spanish, and you have the Super Bowl, which is not some international, it obviously is international, but it's about American football. I mean, we're the only country that calls football what you're seeing on the screen there, and not what you're playing, what we call soccer. So it is an American sport, and to choose that's a choice. But no, I think it absolutely is his criticism of ICE, criticism of immigration policy, at one point saying he wouldn't do a performance in the United States. Those are sort of just not like some massive political figure here, but those are steps towards a politicization of his own music and his own sort of fan base, and that of course then introduces this new idea. Well, let's get an alternative out there of Kid Rock and doing what Kid Rock does, and we know where he comes from.
And we know he just made those political comments at the Grammys too, right ahead of this. 20 seconds left, Steve. Did you have a dog in the fight, and any ads that won for you last night?
Yeah, none of the huge big talker ads I feel like coming out of it. A lot of the traditional ones. I will say, a lot about AI, a lot about gambling, a lot about Ozempic and Ozempic competitors. That was kind of interesting. I thought the game was a little bit boring, but look, the Seahawks, Sam Darnold, great story. I will say that.
Yeah, awesome night. Steve Krakauer got to end it there. Thank you as always. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you for.
So let's continue with the news. Now it's being reported that, hold on one second. It's being reported that possibly Cardi B and Stefan Diggs are no longer dating. It's being reported that they may have unfollowed each other.
Like it, like that.
Yeah.
If you, in your world, if you had to perform that, of course, on Sunday, how excited would that be for you to do that, perform that with Bad Bunny?
That would be exciting.
What else, Cardi? Anything more behind that? Any more than excited?
It would be exciting. I'm actually very, very proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very proud, and I'm proud of everything that he's been standing up for against ICE and everything. And it's just like, I feel like everything is like aligned and something, and just show how like Hispanic, Latinos, whatever you want to call it, right? Everybody got different terms. It's like we standing, they standing, we standing, we all standing up strong.
I know, of course, you have.
So they're going to ask her if she has any words for Stefan.
Before the game. One inspired message.
Hold on one second.
Inspired message for Stefan before the game. One inspired message. Inspired message for Stefan before the game. One inspired message.
So many people are wondering, well, they already said that they unfollowed each other. But many people were surprised that she was dating him anyway. And why do we say that? Well, it's being reported that Stefan has had several children within the last 9 to 10 months. Several children outside of Cardi. And then a few months ago, there was a lawsuit in regards to the chef. And then there was another lawsuit that allegedly came out a few days ago. I can't confirm or deny what this guy is doing or how he's treating people are facts. And then there's another guy that complained about a year ago. So there's been a lot of information about Stefan. And then if you ever go look at the clip, in regards to how his locker room guys feel, they definitely say they don't want their sister dating Stefan. So what was she to Cardi? She's on her 4th child. She's trying to go through a divorce with Offset. She had a baby by Stefan. Now it seems like her and Stefan have broke up, which is fine. There's highs and lows in relationship. It's being reported that it might have been another young lady there to support Stefan. And I saw other pictures. I'm wondering if another one of the baby mamas was at the game. So I'm wondering if it was a young lady at the game supporting Stefan outside of Cardi, and if there was one of the baby mamas at the game supporting Stefan. But here nor there. You got to understand, when you date a guy, you have to ask if you have any children. Do you have any upcoming children? Is a woman pregnant? Are you married? Are you separated? Are you going through? You have to ask all these questions, because if you don't ask, they won't tell you the truth. When's the last time you broke up? How long ago was that? Have you ever broke up and got back together? Is it solid that this is a breakup? Did y'all end on good terms? Did you end on bad terms? You definitely have to ask different questions. Many people feel that, because remember, either her title, Am I the Drama? Many people don't like a lot of drama chaos. And many people said, wow, from Offset to Stefan Diggs, many people felt that was some felt, in their opinion, even worse. They said, okay, we would notice things about Offset, but it wasn't in our faces. They're saying this Stefan stuff is in our faces. So just a few weeks ago, they seemed cool. And she was like, we won to the Super Bowl. Now, 2 weeks later, don't know what happened. I don't know if Cardi's upset because of the new lawsuit that came out.
For Stefan before the game. One inspired message for him.
That's
Inspired message for Stefan before the game. One inspired message for him.
yeah, because she's not, and she wasn't in his section, and she didn't take the field to, say okay. But I'm not surprised. Are y'all surprised that they lost? With everything that's going on with Stefan, was their head in the game? Oh, I'm making a lot of sense. You must not know what's going on. And even if you do, it is what it is. My page is a little different. I can think what I want, I can give my opinion. It is what it is. Hello, go on your page and talk. I'm making a lot of sense. This woman put herself in a situation where this man had several kids, and maybe she knew, maybe she didn't know. Maybe he kept it from her. Because remember how he had said, let me let me see, he says something to the effect of, let me heal your heart, let me something she's always said, that he said to her. And you got to realize these celebrities like hooking up with sports people, and sports people like hooking up with celebrities. And there's always some kind of PR teams working together to kind of try to change the narrative. That's what I want to say. Try and change the narratives of what's going on with the celebrity or the sports person or whatever. There's a lot going on in the news right now. So, well wishes to Cardi. We'll see who she'll date next. We will see who she will date next. But I'm not surprised that they've unfollowed each other. I'm just not surprised about it. Let me see if there's another clip in regards to her talking about.
For Stefan before the game. One inspired message for him. Message for Stefan.
So many people were surprised that she was not around him that much. Okay, yeah, I think they broke up. This is the other thing. Many people didn't realize until later Cardi B was within the dancers at the event. It's not this picture. Cardi B was in a certain part at the Super Bowl, and she was dancing. So I caught that, and I did post a picture last night in regards to my shorts. I was like, wait a minute, that's Cardi B. She was dancing with some of the people at the halftime show. So nice. That was nice that she was able to get on be at the halftime show. And many people were surprised that he didn't bring her up, but he did have Lady Gaga singing. And I can't tell you, I don't know any Bad Bunny songs. Let me know this too. Did y'all enjoy the halftime show? Press one. Did you enjoy the halftime show? Press one. Did you not like the halftime show? Press two. Did you enjoy the halftime show? Press one. Did you not enjoy the halftime show? Press two. Let me know in the comments. Like the videos you guys come in. Like the videos you guys come in. Let me see. Hold on one second. Did you enjoy the game? Let me know if you enjoyed the game. Let me know if you enjoyed the game. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Yeah. I don't normally watch football, but last night I did. I watched the halftime show. Yeah. It is what it is. I was surprised how Stefan's team played. And then the other team was like, all right, we're going to kick it. There's a point. Okay, we're going to have a touchdown. There's a point. It just seems like the other team played better, just to me. But we talked Donald Trump. We talked football. I'm just doing a short video today. I have some things I have to take care of. It's been a very busy morning. I said I was going to go live for 30 minutes, and I'm live for 24. I am going to get into the Nancy. I'm hoping we get more information in regards to Savannah Guthrie's mother. Um, I was too busy to even listen to what was going on, but I am going to see what's going on. Just so you guys know, hold on one second. Hold on, I'm gonna show you something. There's a guy that's talking about Savannah um interviewing the victims years ago. But praying for Savannah and for her mother to be returned soon. Many people are talking about Savannah, the sister, and the brother in their last plea for the mother to return. Many people are talking about that in regards to the last plea and for the mother to return. So, I'm wondering um if she's going to be able to be returned. And let me see if I can find the clip of Savannah and the brother and sister talking. Hold on one second. Yeah, they made another plea for the mother to be returned. Let me see if I can find the clip. Yes, I'm covering it right now. Um, yeah. And many people are saying, please bring her home so we can celebrate. Well wishes to Savannah. I couldn't imagine. It's sad that they're even going through this. I'm covering it. Hold on. I'm trying to find you. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to play this clip.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay.
Y'all, protect your family. This is for a major newscaster to have to go through this.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay.
So that's the one thing many people were wondering, if the person that took the mother, if they gave proof of life. That was the one thing they wanted to know. The mother had some health concerns, some health issues. I'm praying she's okay. I'm praying they allowed her to take her medicine with her or things that she would need to be okay. The stress of it all, many people have covered with the mother health concerns that she was experiencing. One being she had a pacemaker, and the Apple Watch would keep track of what's going on with her heart in regards to the pacemaker. Well, when she was taken from the home, the Apple Watch was left at the house, so she didn't have her watch to regulate what's going on with her. And whether, we don't know if she was able to take her medications or things she needed to be comfortable. We don't know. A lot of times, kidnappers are trying to get you out of there. They don't want the police to pull up, and many different stories are going on in regards to them putting up the tape, them removing the tape, them giving the house back to the family, and then them coming back up, putting back up the tape, doing more investigation, and then more investigation. So it's been days and days and days up. It was really, really busy out there Saturday, Sunday. And I think they're trying to figure some things out. And allegedly, today is the day. Let me see if I can find some stuff for y'all. Today is the day where they need um a decision to be made. And I guess the Guthries are saying they will pay to just get their mother back. So it's just a lot going on, y'all. It's so sad. At 84 years old, 84, for the mother to be removed out of her home and taken, and she's scared, and I couldn't even imagine. So let me bring up some
You're
news.
with your client, but you're too busy trying to schedule
Hold on
other
one
clients
second.
to actually be with your client.
Let's bring up some recent news of what they're saying. um and allegedly there's time frames, and today is one of the time frames where a decision has to be made, and hopefully the mother can be brought home safely. Okay, let's get to the news.
Funds, the money in exchange for Nancy Guthrie.
Hold on.
Breaking moments ago, TMZ was reporting that the Bitcoin account allegedly set up to accept the funds, the money in exchange for Nancy Guthrie, remains empty at this hour. An apparent ransom deadline of 5 p.m. Arizona time is fast approaching. So yeah, now we're 4.5 hours away. You and I were talking off camera, and I know you can't share every detail, but when it comes to even an IP address to figure out the ransom note, and maybe what's coming next in this whole thing after that 5 p.m. deadline, you can get to that. You can't tell us every detail, but what can you share?
Right. So there's different elements that we're looking at right now. You're looking at the ransom emails, right? That's in and of itself its own topic.
Let's start there.
The masked IP addresses. People think, I'm going to send an email. It's going to be masked. No one's ever going to track me down. False. The FBI has the ability to unmask IP addresses. know because I've done it, and I've seen it happen in large cases that have gone to court and been federally upheld, and so it is absolutely possible. But what it requires is digging through certain layers of information. That does take time, but it is possible.
Do you think 9 days are enough time?
That's a good question. Like I said, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of, and so law enforcement is not going to show their hand right now. They're not going to show everything that they're capable of doing. Certainly not the FBI, because that's what they do. They keep it quiet and confidential to maintain the integrity of the investigation. But I think you've got the ransom email. Again, we've all been talking about it. It's either legitimate, they're a hoax, or they're a false flag and a distraction. And we're about to find out. Those ransom emails may have absolutely nothing to do with Nancy and her whereabouts. But on the flip side, they may. And that's, again, what the family's working with the FBI to determine what's the legitimacy of this. Now, when we look at the masking of the IP addresses, that's one way to mask their identity. The other way that everyone's talking about is Bitcoin. Back in the day, it was, hey, we'll give you cash. Hey, we'll send it here. Not anymore. Bitcoin is highly sophisticated for individuals, and it is something that we knew that in the FBI we were getting trained on their techniques, and they use it for a purpose. But every single action is recorded and documented on the blockchain, and that is visible. You can see that. But what you may not be able to see initially is a non-traceable wallet. But again, with certain investigative techniques and things that the FBI can do, they can get to the bottom of that. But the key is, if you ever want to cash in that money, so let's say you get $6 million, what good is that if you can't actually utilize that? In order to cash in with a U.S. institution, you're going to have to provide a name, a social security number, identifiers, in order to use that. You can let it sit in the wallet indefinitely, but what good is that? Or, again, I'm not going to go into any ideas. There's other things that, again, the FBI, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you better. So, Paul, the end-to-end transaction, if you will, the beginning of it with the money in the account hasn't happened. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, I think it means that there is no level of trust there from the Guthrie family because they have not gotten any proof of life. And I think that there's got to be still some real question as to whether or not the two notes are coming from the people who actually have their mother, because proof of life is comparatively simple. You can come up with something that's very unique, very idiosyncratic from, let's say, Savannah's childhood or something like that. Even if you don't want to put the mother on camera or something like that, but you could do that too.
Why couldn't you put the mother on camera?
You could. They may be worried about the comms. Is it traceable? Is the metadata going to show something that the FBI can pull out? And the good news here is that you got the FBI who invested this. So that's one of the,
AI.
At this AI stuff, at tracing AI, because you can use AI against AI, tracing the Bitcoin, all that stuff, that goes on. Think of it as a pocketbook that everybody can see. The problem for them is that when you go to it, you can't buy, groceries with Bitcoin yet anyway. So when they go to take it out, that's, as I was talking about earlier, that's the vulnerability. And that's the thing that you are hoping you can see at some point. But as I said earlier, if it happens someplace that you can't get to, North Korea or something, then, you're sunk.
Donna?
I mean, do we have to think, and Nicole, you may be able to answer this, do we have to think that the letters that they have, these two letters, that the FBI must think that there's some validity to them? Because as we've seen, there's already been arrests for people who have sent fake notes. So, there must be some level there where they feel like there's some validity here, or otherwise, wouldn't they have made arrests already? Like, if they can figure out that some are fake, why do we not know a little bit more about these at this point?
Right. So, again, without going into the details of what's happening behind the scenes, they're not going to close the door on any potential piece of evidence. Let's say that they think something is or is not legitimate. The FBI, their key is open communication. They want as many data points of evidence digitally in whatever format. So let's say every time they post on Instagram, and then there's a response, and then there's an email. Every single thing is a digital trail of potential evidence. And so a lot of times you may think, oh, they're going to solve the case off of this particular point, when in reality, what the FBI is doing is they're taking all the digital artifacts and they're piecing it together in a timeline. And they're looking, okay, how can we continue to keep the lines of communication open? Again, they may have information that this is not accurate. Maybe the Guthries don't intend to pay this. We don't exactly know what's happening, but I promise you the key is communication. And what the Guthries want is they want immediacy. What the offenders want is they have been looking for time. And what Savannah did in that video, they basically are pushing their hand and they're saying, let's go. You are no longer in control. We are. you have run out of time, and we are willing to pay. So put up or shut up.
So this is about engagement with whomever may have her. But what's interesting too, Emily, if it turns out that nothing happens at 5 p.m., they don't pay the money, they don't have any more engagement, then perhaps what you have is a situation where that wasn't real. Now they can focus on something else.
Yeah, essentially ruling out.
Yeah.
But wait, I just want to sort of clarify what you said, because I want to make sure I understand. I thought the urgency is for both parties, for all parties, because of course the families want their mother back, of course, but also the alleged captors want their money. So aren't they the ones that were demanding this soon time frame? And then when you said U.S. institutions earlier, but what if, to Paul's point, the receiving institutions out of this country, then it seems, what then in terms of capturing and identifying?
That's a great question, because if it's outside of the country, then do you really think that they have Nancy's mother? Or do they really have Nancy Guthrie? So then it leads to, okay, that's probably
you just put it like for the Cayman Islands, right? Like something like that, like a shielded account.
Right, but to ever bring it into the U.S. to be utilized in the United States, an institution of $6 million transaction, they're going to...
There's a they call it an exchange, and there's a middleman that does it, and there's a lot of scrutiny on those.
Yes.
And so as a result, you got to do it someplace else. And let's remember, the arrest they made, that was a knucklehead attempt. Like, your average high schooler could have broken that.
All right.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagna.
So I'm glad we were able to give you guys an update in regards to the Guthrie family. Prayers for her mother, safe return home. I could not even imagine. Her mother's 84. Removed out of the home. It doesn't seem like the alarm went off, allegedly. Whether the security cameras caught anything, they're saying that they were damaged or removed. Allegedly, there was no subscription, so they're not able to continue to see anything from those cameras or pull anything allegedly from the cloud. It's really sad. Yeah, celebrity mom, but here nor there, she's 84 and she has health concerns. So my prayers go out to the Guthries. Savannah, she was due to go to the Winter Olympics. Of course, she did not go. You could see that they're gutted. Sisters, brothers, they're sitting there, they're holding hands. I'll play this again because some people might not have heard the last thing the family had said to the people allegedly that have her mother. Another person got arrested because they did not have the mother.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Now listen again what she says.
We received your message, and we understand.
I understand.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her.
Celebrate with her? What does that mean?
This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
And some of the people, in regards to them paying, they're stating that it's up to the family if they wanted to pay. They definitely said they want proof of life. A camera showing her waving, her saying something in regards to something that they had did over the last few days, just to make sure they know it's not AI. That's the doggone thing. All this AI stuff that's going on. Hey, I enjoyed our time because remember, she was with family Friday night, got home 9 something. She was with family. Hey, I had a great time for those few hours. I enjoyed the food, and state what the food was, because of course the mother and the family's gonna know what they ate that night. So for her to be able to say that, now that really can't be AI. You know what I mean? To state, I enjoyed our time with the family, seeing so and so and so and so, and I enjoy the food. I wish I could have ate it all. You know what I mean? That person will know. No, she didn't eat it all. She was right in saying so and so was there, So just having proof of life, her being returned. What do they mean when they want to say that they want to celebrate? Many people have been questioning that. Last night I was listening to 4 men that were talking about the case. They had a doctor on there. They had other people talking about what transpired. Another lady this morning was talking about the restricted in regards to having certain lights. um to look for her. So there's a lot going on. Everybody, if you have an older mother, and then I guess they're stating she might have taken Uber Lyft either that day going to the daughter's house or coming home from the daughter's house. But at 84, why is the daughter having the mom take Uber Lyft? You know what I mean? That's a lot of strangers knowing the location of the mother. So there's no telling if the daughter has children, and that might be the reason why um, she's having the mom take Uber Lyft, and she doesn't want to keep taking the kids in and out of the home. But the biggest thing is if the family would have took her home, they would have evaluated the home. They would have got her into her pajamas, got her medicine. You would have been a different type of scenario. But um other people are doing, I don't know if you guys know this, other people are doing breakdowns of time frames of stuff. um Let me see if I saved that. Hold on one second. Let me see if I saved it. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, see, and I may do a longer video in regards to this. um I'll briefly talk about it. They were stating that Nancy traveled to the family's home at 5:32. Nancy was dropped off at her home allegedly by the garage door at 9:48. The 9:48, and then they state that the garage door closed at 9:50. So that's 2 minutes in regards to the garage door closing. And there's no telling if somebody got in the garage door as she was closing, because sometimes weirdos like to watch people. You know what I'm saying? And if they got in that garage door. Okay, 1:47 a.m. the doorbell camera was disconnected. 1:47. Then they're stating at 2:12 a.m. the software detected a person on camera. So 1:47 doorbell disconnected, 2:12 software detected a person. And they're stating no camera, no videos available. And they're stating at 2:28 the pacemaker app showed a disconnect. So prayers go out to the mom. Prayers go out to the mom. Prayers go out to the mom. Yeah, and many of us have stated that street is so dark. And what's that all about? You know what I mean? Can't you have the little things in the ground or a motion like something, people coming in and out and knowing stuff? And I guess if you also get um, a camera, get a camera for the front door, back door, and have a camera where people can't see the other camera. Have a third camera. You know what I mean? Prayers, thank you for the gifted. Prayers go out to Nancy for a safe return. I could not imagine her children are going through. A lot of us love our parents, our mom, our dad. We love our parents. We love our parents. And some people don't really care for their parents, maybe because their parents were controlling or trying to direct their lives. And sometimes children bump heads with their parents. We get it. But nobody wants their parent to be taken away from their home, away from the family. You don't know where that person is. It's late at night. I could not imagine. It's late at night. She's older. She's an older 84-year-old woman. She's lived most of her life without this type of thing. So it's gut wrenching to see them like this. It's gut wrenching. It's gut wrenching. I couldn't imagine. Even a person don't really care for their parents, they don't want them kidnapped or abducted, or there's blood at the door. You know what I'm saying? And then they did verify that the blood that's at the door is the mother's. Now, I don't know, she might have been trying to leave them clues. They said she's as smart as, she's very witty, she's very smart. She might have been trying to leave clues, but we've seen in certain pictures the mom has had bruises, and that's health based, but she might have been trying to leave her family a note of what's going on. And see, this is the other thing that's scary for the mom. This is the other thing that's scary for the mom, that it alleged took the church to call the family that she didn't show up for, whether it's to be at the church or Zoom in regards to watching the church. It's sad that they would not have known that she was missing up until them calling. People, protect your parents. You got to know there has to be alarm. Maybe put up camera in their home. And it may get on their nerves, but at least you can check in. Hi, you're home. Yep, I'm about to put my pajamas on. I'm about to go to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Protective measures are needed for sure for elderly parents, a single mom, a single dad. You know, at any time, a parent can have a health emergency. She could have even a health emergency as she takes the watch off because the watch is supposed to regulate, but at some point, the watch has to be recharged and charged up. So, praying for them, yeah, elderly people is they need help, they need assistance, and sometimes they'll tell you no. Don't bother me, leave me alone. I got this. I took care of you. Don't treat me like a child. Older people are something else. Don't treat me like a child. I'm not a child. I took care of you. I cleaned your, pamper. You know how older people are, and they don't want to be, but some parents will say yes because the world can, some people are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So yeah, it's sad. Praying that she can be returned home. Praying that she can be returned home. And many people are surprised that she was living by herself. Some older people say, I want to live by myself. You're not going to control me. I want to live here by myself. They stated that they had been in that home. The children were raised in that home. That's the home that she shared with her husband who has passed. But sometimes older people say, I don't want to live with a kid. I don't want to live with a daughter or a son. Sometimes it's like that. Parents don't want to live with their children. So, and they definitely don't want to live in a group home. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm 59. But my son protects me. Thank goodness your son protects you. You know what I mean? So some of us do have sons, daughters. Sometimes people have caregivers that come in and help in the morning, sometimes at night, depending on if the children are there. So I'm hearing different things about if she had home health services or a caregiver, or someone that took care of her daily. I'm hearing different things. So I don't want to go into that not knowing if that was the case. If she had care services outside of her daughter. I'm getting conflicting things about that, but I don't know if you guys know whether or not she had care services, someone that helped her just generally around the house, clean the house, help her with prescriptions, help her go get groceries. I don't know. I'm hearing conflicting things, so I don't want to say that she had a caregiver and someone checked on her in the morning or someone checked on her at night, and that's why in the morning the family didn't know. So protect your family, protect yourself. Even being at 59, there's people that are kind of weird, and you kind of have to watch your surroundings, pay attention to things. They had also said that days before there was an alleged white van near that location. And I don't know if anybody ever got the plate, told the police about it, but if you notice something, say something, take the picture of the van license plate. So sometimes people are watching people for a while or days or whatever, or they're asking, you never know if they're going to pull the Uber driver, Lyft driver off to the side, or certain cities still use cabs. If they're going to pull a cab driver over, hey, give me some information. They give them 100, 200, $300. You never know. So just be cautious. Watch your surroundings. Yeah. What about her cell phone? They had said her cell phone and keys, and the car was left at the house. And then if you did not know, the daughter's house was evaluated and checked out. The Nancy's car was removed over the weekend. I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday. Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I want to say it was over the weekend. Nancy's car was taken in to get looked at. I don't know. People are wondering, did she touch the car going into the house? Um, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, they said her cell phone was left at the house and her Apple Watch. Now, I don't know if she had an Apple Watch and a cell phone. I don't know. But I thank everyone for being here. I thank everyone for supporting. There's about 83 people in the building. I really didn't say a lot today. Please subscribe, but please subscribe. If all 83 subscribe, that's an amazing day. So please subscribe, turn on your notifications. But I thank everyone for being here and supporting. Have a great day, everyone. Oh, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Most likely, I'll go live again tomorrow, 10, 11, or 12, unless there's major updates today. Then I'll go live again about Nancy, but praying for a safe return for Nancy to be reunited with her children. That's what the prayer is. And they're stating that today is the day where they want that amount paid. And we're hearing allege, it's in the millions, allege. And allege one person tried to act like they were the ones, and that person's in jail. So the family's very cautious about trying to pay a ransom, and they did ask for proof of life. And many of us are wondering if they actually got that proof of life and what the second message said. And they basically said, you're not going to be able to contact me anymore, or we're cutting it off at this point. You have to do this on this date, and there's no more communication. So I'll play this last one more time.
We received your message and we understand. We beg to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
So, prayers for the Guthrie family. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a great day. Goodbye.